Hello, dear students. Today is our second lecture on Microsoft Excel, and we will learn how to draw diagrams, how to work with them, how to connect them to tables, how to place them correctly, etc. So the lesson will be quite easy but interesting. There are some graphical tools also there, and a little bit of formulas like, what if functions, for instance, etc. So basically, this one is one of the important things that you have to know when you work with Excel. So as usually, I will show you firstly one part of lecture myself. You can follow me, and then afterwards you have to do your independent task, the part B. And now I will share my screen. You'll see what I'm doing and just repeat. Good luck. Let's go. So here we are. And of course, when we have to start, you have to find your badges, and actually you'll see the lecture name, and here will be A, B, and PDF file. This PDF you can download. It is okay to download it because there are some theory buttons and you can read them to know more about functions. But together we will do the part A, and then yourself you will do the part B. So this one is your independent work. Here we start, and I'm going to download. First, we will download the instruction file, and we also download the script data file, which we will need to use and modify. We can find the location easily. In my case, it's download button. I can find this icon here in my browser, but you can usually find the same icon in yours. And you open, you'll see all of the things. If we open this one, you can see this is the part from book. You can read about this, and if you want to do it without my instructions, it will really help you. And it will really help you also for doing the independent work. But we have to open this Word file. And here we go. This is what we're gonna do. I'll not show this to you. You have it. I will do step by step the instructions, and you just follow me, and you can follow this file as well. So let us open the first, as it said in the instructions, we have to firstly open Excel and start script data file. So we started, of course, we have to enable editing, and such file we see. Here you may see different, maybe instead of dollar sign, maybe you can see the currency, but usually it is a dollar sign. But when you work, your currency may be changed. And now let us save it as a different one. We have this usual practice, so not to change the file which is original one, we just have to save it as another name. So, and here we write, we delete everything here. Let us write your surname, underline your name, underline 3A, underline fund. So this is the name. And of course we can save it. When you save it, you have to clarify whether it's saved correctly here. So please remember this. And also you can double check the folder. You can see it's also inside. For now, we start. And we need to go forward now and to create a kind of a different values for the diagram. So let us click the cell D5. And here we are going to find a percentage. You see the percentage of total fund expenditures. So here we have the total fund, and here we have each position. So how to find a percentage? Quite easy. You just need to take this and divide by the total, and you will get the percentage. What is the percentage of this? But we will take not the originally proposed by the adjusted ones, because these are more correct signs. And here we have to write the formula, and we have to type equals, and we can type also the name of the cell, or we can just activate the cell and it will put us the name. Then we want to divide it by the same, by the cell of this. But here we are going later to move this formula, to copy this formula downwards to this cell, and we will use this part. So here I would like to draw your attention that if you leave it like this, then you press enter, you can see that this actually works, and you can get the percent formula. It will give you the percentage, and you can make it, for example, like a centered one, so it will be like very nice. But if you want to move it down, you will have an error, because here you will have division by 0, but look carefully why. Because when you move, so you see here is C5, C11. In this case, it will be C6, C12. So it means that they move those cells also here. They move this cell and this cell, because in this one, there was actually this and that cell. As you move it downwards, then they move also this cell. In order to avoid this, you need to activate the fixer. So you have to fix this cell, and for this purpose, you have to press F4. There is a special button F4 on the keyboard, so you have to find it and press it. And you see, wait, I didn't press it actually, but I have to press it here, and I press it like F4. One moment, here F4. You see, I have pressed F4, and you see that there are dollar signs appeared. So if you cannot find F4 on your computer, then you have to just write dollar sign to each of the positions. So X position like the letter, and Y position like the number. So now you can activate this. You see nothing really changed, but when you move it downwards, it will give you the very nice thing. So please pay your attention. You have to receive the same. If you don't have this, you can ask me either in the comments or just online if we are having online class with you. So this is how we got. And by the way, if you draw it all together, you can see that here it shows you 100%. So it means that you have done everything correctly. And here, pay attention also, they add you some different things. By the way, here you can activate other things as well, like count, minimum, maximum. If I want to say minimum or maximum, I will see also minimum and maximum values here. And what we're going to do, we have to create a diagram for this, but we don't want to show the numbers in a diagram. We just want to show the percentage, or no, let's just show the numbers. So we just have to select those guys and those guys. To do this, you have to use the control button, because you need to, how to say, to select both of them. So just hold control button. If you have Apple Macintosh, hold the command button, and be careful. You don't have to change the position, but you need to just hold it and hold the control and select the other one, like this. You have to do like this. If you don't have it, try again, and you will have to use it. And now we will create a chart. Chart is created through insert. Here is insert button. You just press insert, and you will see there are lots of options, but you need to find options charts. Look carefully. Here are names of the groups, and there is the group for charts. So here you can find everything which is needed for charts, and you need to find different ones. Let us create like a different chart. So here, what kind of chart we want, and let us find the 3D chart. So insert a column on the bar, and maybe if we put the recommended chart, there are different like this. It's not good, but here, probably if you say that, there is nothing. And let us find, for example, like not that, we have to find a pie chart. This one, yeah. So let's just take the pie chart and let us insert the 3D pie. And when you insert the 3D pie, it already shows you, don't be afraid. Unless you press some button, it will not appear in your Excel. So now we are going to press it, and we have to store it in the other place, in the other worksheet. So here is one worksheet, you can see below general fund, but we will create a worksheet for the chart separately, and we have to move it. So in order to move, we have to, you see there are different tabs appeared, chart design and format. So we have to use chart design tab, and we need to find here among those tools the move chart tool. And if you press the move chart, it will allow you to move it to the new sheet. And let us call it expenditure chart. So if we call it expenditures chart, to say correctly, it could be like with this letter, just press OK, and you can see that this chart becomes a separate worksheet. So here you can choose between general fund and expenditures chart. Now we are going to modify this a little bit because it looks like, very simple and not well designed because it's very abrupt, very roughly created. We will make it a little bit smooth. We will format it using graphical tool. Firstly, we are going to change the name of the chart or the title of the chart, where you can see the title above. You see each title is given here, and usually by default it's not written, it's just like says chart title. But when you'll have it, just I hope I pay your attention. If you want to present it to someone, you have to change it. How to change it? Just need to double click. When you double click there, you can delete what is written here and just write general expenditures or general fund expenditures. It will be logical for this. Now we have to apply different styles for this. So we need to select it by, I'm just selecting it by pressing several times on one letter. So 1, 2, 3. So, and then 3 times I press the mouse button and I selected the whole text. Of course, you can select it like this as well, but it's up to you. There are different ways to select. And let us go to apply different word art styles. And you see here we don't have it, but we can go to format and we can have here word art style. We have to find a new word style, and now let us go for filling this. Just you see there are having some names. Let us fill this gold style accent for soft bevel. So this is the style we are going to change, and let us apply this style and change the font to 32. How do we change the font? We can see what is here. It is the color of the font, the color, and here do we have anything? Nothing we have. So we can just create the text options, and there is nothing as well. So basically we can go home and find the place where to change the font and make it 32. So now you see the title is well seen and it looks nicer. Now we are going to format some chart elements by removing, for example, the legend and adding formatting data labels, because you see there are chart details and no data labels are here, and you have to move it here. You see if you hold the cursor, it gives you a kind of data, but you have to do it, and if you want to present it using the paper, then it will not be printed and it's not good, so we have to change it. Now, what do we do with the element? You see, those are elements. And if you want to go to chart elements, you can come to them using this way. You see here are chart elements, and you can go to chart design, and you can get here other chart element, and you have here different elements as well. You see here are some ticks for these elements, some check boxes, and here are the same title, chart title, data labels, and legend. So if you move to data labels, you can get here different things, but here you can also, if you activate those guys, you can go to data labels and you can press it here and you can have it here. So pay attention, it's up to you which way you go, you will have one and the same effect. And here we have to take the data labels, and we can have here more options. Yeah, we can have here more options. And if we have here more options, we can see what kind of data the label contains. At the moment, you see it contains value and leader lines, but we can change it. So we can remove the value and we can make, for example, percentage. Or we can remove percentage and we can make value from cells. We can make series names. We can make a category name and a value itself. But let us take the category name and percentage. So now we can clearly see that there are community services. They take 11%. This one takes here. So it looks nicer. Don't you agree? Let us go forward. And here we can clear all of the boxes so that it's only those two are selected. And now let us click with the right button on the ones which you select. And we have to change the font. So if you want to change the font, just press the font here. And you will be able to change the font. Just make it, for example, 11. If you have so small step, you can just type 11 and make it bold and italic. So not regular, but bold and italic. Let's activate, and you can see that they are seen better. For now, let us move to the chart itself and try to format the 3D model so we can have it a little bit better designed. For this one, we have to double click on any slice, for instance, like here. And if you double click on any slice, you can see all the slices are selected. You can make sure by those little buttons here, by these dots, because sometimes it is possible to select only one slice. And when you do it with one slice only, then you will select only one slice, but not the whole diagram, and it will be a little bit different from what you want, from what you expect. So here, if you select, you can pay attention that on the right, you have the special pane which shows you different possibilities to format this chart. And at the moment, you have series options and format data series. So here you can do what you have. You can move, resize, and close, or you can also here hide and open, but here you can make what you exactly want to change. You can make the chart area, chart title, legend, pilot area, etc. But you have the series ones. It's okay, you don't have to check, and you have the three options. So this is the fill and line, these are effects, and these are series options. Firstly, we have to format the series options, and you can see we can make like, what we can do here. Let us see effects. So here we can have effects, and in the effects we can change like 3D effect. And let us try to go to top bevel. And when you have the top bevel, let us change the white to 512. So just type here 512 and press enter. And you can go forward and find. So this was the top bevel, yeah. And you do it also with the height and just make it like 512 and press enter. And you will have a kind of a different value of your chart. I think it looks a little bit nicer, isn't that? And let us do the same with the bottom bevel. So because you see this was the top bevel, and now we have this the bottom bevel. So yeah, I can use tab button to go to another one. So and here enter, and you can see that the chart looks like a little bit simplified and nicer. Well, now we have to go forward, and you see here we can make it like this and return back to the initial menu for the effect. And let us go for shadow now. If you have a shadow, then let us go. Sometimes you have a preset for shadow because you don't have to think about what kind of shadow you want. You can take the ready one. And let us go to under perspective here and go for below. Maybe this one. Yeah, exactly. Or this one, you see have different names. So this one lower left, lower right, upper left, and this one below. And you see you have a kind of a shadow under this. So now you know how to add shadow, how to make the bevel, and let us move forward and we go to change the rotating, the angle, how it's rotated. So we need to change uh, the rotation. And here we have to change the series options button, this one. And you see here is angle of the first slice and spy explosion. We will work with this. And let us change the angle of the first slide. So we will move it to 250 degrees. And you see I'm pressing enter. What is happening? We have turned the slice. And maybe now it's better because you have this larger one and those are here. So this is how you do it. The next thing is I will show you what the ply explosion is. But here, in order to use ply explosion, I can use, for example, like this, but it is not good. We better have to select only one. And let us select the community service. Now you can see that the community service is selected. These three dots show that the community services is selected. And let us create like 10% of our pie explosion. So you see, this is important for us to show for people, for investors, or for someone else that this one takes 11%. So we just can put an accent on it by making the point explosion. Okay, I hope it's clear. And now let us change a little bit like fill effect. So here we can go for fill effect and make sure your community service is still selected. You go to fill effect and let us make it a fill with gradient fill option. You see now the color of this green one will change. If you choose the gradient, it already changed it. But probably you want to make it again like this. And let us go for preset gradients. And let us make like bottom spotlight accent 6. So this is accent 1 and this is accent 6. Actually, this is a little bit green. And bottom spotlight. Bottom spotlight, we have medium gradient, bottom spotlight, accent 6. This one. Now it's good to see that this is not only one color, but there is a kind of a gradient. So please do like this. And let's go to the white area now and try to modify this. So we will modify the chart area. So let us activate the white area. Now I'm pressing into the white and I'm activating the white area. It is inside the chart border. So you see here again, you have the chart area and you can, if you select this, you see you can format data series, but if you select this, you can format data point, but if you select this, you can format chart area. Please pay attention to what you form. And now we have to find fill and line. And here we choose gradient fill. And now let us change also different gradient fill, like preset gradient. Now let us take accent 1 and bottom spotlight. I think it also will be like this, but it will be green. Not green, but blue. Make sure this is the same. So it's like bottom spotlight, accent 1. And now let us go for the same like fill area and we will collapse it. So we don't have a lot of the options because now you can expand them. And you can change some different gradient options. You can play with this, but I don't need it now, but you can play yourself. And let us go for borders, because we can make also a border. And if you make a border, let us expand these options and create a solid line, for instance. There will be a solid line around. You can change the color, and the color will be like blue, gray to text. You see here it's like blue, accent 1, blue, accent 1, and blue, gray. Let us create a blue, gray. This is like blue. Where is the blue, gray? Blue, right, gray. And this one, it's gray. So basically we can see which color it is. This is blue-gray. You see, this is the blue-gray color. And text too, like this. Let us select this one, but you don't see it because it's very small. You see the white is 0.75 point, but let us make 5 point. So you can see that now it is quite well seen. If you change the color, for example, to yellow, you will see it clearly, but I will change it back to blue-gray. It doesn't have to be noticed very much to make a good design. Well, now let us try to see how we can edit workbook and update the chart. So now you see that this one is more or less looks good. You can also try to modify something, but we will make it a little bit, it's not important now. But as you see, now you can pay attention. This is 11, 17, 8, 18, 14, and 32. Now we have to go to the general fund and we will modify some data. You will see that the data in the chart also will change. Here you can see that we can modify those data as well. And let us go like for C8, the public funds, the public works. You see here is 13,985,695. But we will change it to another kind of letters. Let us put not 13 million, but 15 million and 792 and 306. So you see here it was 14%, 14%. Now if we move it like this, it will be 15%, and the total amount of these things will change. Now let us move to the chart and you will see that it really changed. You can see that public works became 15%. It was 14% actually before, as you remember. Okay, now let us display this general fund again and try to figure out what happens if we, for example, would like to move the parking expenditures from 8% to 7%. You see the parking expenditures here are 8%, and we want to make it 7%, but we don't know how to change this data because your investors say we need to reduce parking to 7%, and you have to adjust the expenditures. Then we have to change this. You can guess, of course. If you're a good mathematician, you can calculate. But in case you are not good with mathematics and you want to make it faster, you can create a kind of a what-if analysis in the Excel. And I will show you that it's really easy how to do it. But your aim is to create here 7%. Please remember. So what we are going to do, we have to just create one point. Let us create this and let us type goal. Our goal is to reduce parking expenditures from 8% to 7%. Sorry, he has some imprecision with to 7%. Yeah. And in order to make it nice of total expenditures also, let us create also here 7% of total expenditures. And let us move it to the center and join those guys like this. We can create this A13, D13 and merge and center like this across, so it looks nicer now. And then maybe we can also apply the heading 3 style. You know how to do it already because we were doing this before in the previous things. And here, goal, I don't know if we need this equality sign, now it's better. And now let us select like A14 and type goal amount. And now we will try to create a kind of what if analysis to study what happens, how to get here 8%. So we have to select these ones because they are dependent on each other. 8% depends on this, and we just copy this. You know, we can right click and copy, and then to move it to B14 and paste it. So you know how to paste it. Here, if you have a lot of options, just paste it like this and it's okay. Don't forget to press escape in order to remove those selection because otherwise you can by chance modify it. So now you see it here and you see the formula has also been copied. This is important. If you don't copy the formula, then analysis will not work. But here, why I'm copying this? Because I don't want to change this. I just want to see the changes here, and this one I can change them manually. So now if we have it, it's good. And then we have to go for analysis. And to change the what if analysis, we have to move to data tab because we can work with data. This one is really important for those who would like to be the data analysts, etc. So if you go to data here, you can read some explanations, for example, like that. And here you can have what if analysis, like forecast. And if you press here, what if analysis, you need to take the goal seek function because you have here scenario manager. This we will see in other lectures, data table also in other lectures, but goal seek, it is the lecture of today's. And here you have to see which cell you want to modify. You see set cell, you want to set cell to value. You want to set this cell. If you don't see this cell, you have to show this cell by taking this part and selecting the right cell. But what is here, you want to change it to 7%. So you just write here 7%. And now you have to show which cell you want to modify. And you want to modify this one because this cell depends only on this. And you want to modify that. And this is basically all what you need to do. And now you have to press OK, and you will see which amount you need to put in order to have the 7% here. Just press OK. And you can see you have 7%. And you can see that the amount we are going to do for parking is 7,160,000, hundreds of thousands, 495. Okay, then we can select those things. Okay, just press OK, and you can select those things like this. And let us apply different styles for the cell. Just maybe 20% accent 1 cell. Maybe this one, let us do. Yeah, okay. And you can see that here we have 7%, and here we have this one, but this is in the currency. And let us create the currency style, accounting number form. Here you can just make the format, cell style, and make the currency 0. And you'll see. But now you can see that this book comes from US and this is in dollars, but I am from Latvia and we have euros. That's why we have euros here. You know, you can adjust it, but here just pay attention that I am not paying a lot of attention to this. So, what else? You can see that, and if you want, you can change this data also here. It's up to you. But now you have the data, you have the diagram. You know that the diagram works together with data and they are dependent on each other. Let us do the final step before you send me the works of this. And let's go to page layout. I will remind you again that you have to custom some margins, and you always have to pay attention to these things because when you work with documents, go to margins and select the custom margins. When you see that here are important things. Here is the page in total. You can change landscape and the portrait orientation and adjustment to fit, for example, the contents of your worksheet only to one page, etc., to see which paper you want to print it on and what kind of resolution you want to have or quality. And here, I don't need to change anything at the moment, but I need to see margins. Here you can see margins. You can center horizontally or vertically. Please remember this one is something like that if you change it. So what we need to see, let us change it horizontally because it will be nicer. And now let us insert header and footer just to make the file name there. And usually here you can get custom footer. And you see, sometimes you can insert the file name in the left section. If you print it and you see the file name on your document, you have to go here and change it if you don't want it to appear. Okay, here we go. And we have done this. Let us press OK. And let us go to File and Info to change some properties of the documents. Remember that here we can press some tags, and tags are important for advertising the file on the internet. So we can go here to write general fund, for example, and comma expenditures. These will be the keywords by which you can find it. And here, you see, you can add an author. You can write PM. And here you can remove the author. So if you remove the person like this, so you have only yourself. And here you can also place your name and surname and place also here the your course data. And I want to say you one thing. If you submit me the work and if you don't have your name and surname here, it is -1 point already. Yeah, so please pay attention to this. So you have to press your name and surname, which I really have to see that you are the author of this document, not anyone else. It is important. And then let us select the all sheet now. So if you return back, you see you can select one sheet or here, but I want to select all sheets. And then I have to press Control button and select all of them. Now they both are selected. Now let us go for File and Print. And you can see the print preview. You can see here you can scroll between two worksheets. Please pay attention to that, because if you select only one, it will not show you everything. Look, I am going back, I'm selecting only one, and I'm going to print it, so it will show me one of one. Pay attention to this. If you want to print the whole worksheet, you need to select both of them and go for printing. So here you can choose which pages and how you print them. And now it's all. You have to save it. And you have to select, but before you save, I want to see about the printing. You see here, in this case, you have mentioned that you have the file name. But here you didn't put the file name because it wasn't selected. And that's why if you want to put here file name as well, you have to go to custom margins with this style active. Pay attention to this. Well, guys, today this is a short, how to say, introduction to Excel, the second lecture. I hope you will do it yourself with my help. So I helped you. Now you have to send it to me, to my email, and you have also the part B. So if you have the part B, please pay attention if you go to Batis. If you go back, here you have part B. And this one you need to do yourself. And I'm expecting the files ready by today's evening to my email. Okay, then for now, telling you goodbye. See you later. And of course, ask me questions either in the comments of under this video, then other students will also see, and then maybe these comments will help them, or you can ask me directly. Good luck.